Not every person is born a genius, but some individuals leave such a deep impact on the world that their legacy becomes timeless. Today, we journey through the life of one such extraordinary mind, Albert Einstein. He was once dismissed as a slow learner, a failure in school, yet went on to reshape the very laws of the universe. This is not just the story of a scientist. It is the story of brilliance, rejection, rebellion, and the triumph of curiosity over conformity. Welcome to the inspiring world of the genius of the century, Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein was born on March 14, 1879, in the city of Ulm, Germany. From an early age, he showed signs of deep introspection and quiet thinking. He didn't begin speaking until the age of 4, worrying his parents and teachers. Some even feared he had a learning disability. His teachers thought he was dull and unimaginative. But inside his mind, a storm of ideas was brewing, ideas the world wasn't ready to understand. He wasn't interested in memorizing. He was obsessed with understanding. As a child, he asked profound questions. What happens if I ride a beam of light? Would time stop? Even then, he was already thinking about the speed of light and the nature of time. At 16, Einstein left school, frustrated by the rigid education system. He believed true learning came from freedom, not force. He moved to Switzerland and studied at the Zurich Polytechnic. Even with a degree, no university would hire him. He faced rejection after rejection. Eventually, he took a job as a patent clerk. This mundane role gave him the time to think freely, undisturbed. And in the silence of that office, he gave birth to ideas that would shake the foundations of science. The year 1905 became known as Einstein's miracle year, a moment in history when a single mind unlocked secrets no one dared to imagine. That year, he published 4 groundbreaking scientific papers that would transform physics forever. One of them contained the equation that would become famous in every classroom on Earth. E equals mc squared, energy equals mass multiplied by the speed of light squared. This wasn't just mathematics. It was a revelation that mass and energy are different forms of the same thing. It would later lead to nuclear power and, tragically, nuclear weapons. Einstein didn't stop there. In 1915, he introduced his greatest work, the general theory of relativity. He proposed that gravity is not an invisible force pulling objects together. Instead, gravity is the warping of space and time itself, like a stretched rubber sheet that curves around every planet and star. When this theory was confirmed during a solar eclipse in 1919, Einstein instantly became a global celebrity. Newspapers around the world declared, "A new Newton is born." His discoveries didn't just change science. They changed the way humanity understood reality itself. By the early 1920s, Einstein was the most famous scientist on Earth. His lectures drew thousands. Journalists chased him through train stations. Photographers waited for a glimpse of the man who had redefined time itself. In 1921, he received the Nobel Prize in Physics, not for relativity, but for his work on the photoelectric effect, which helped spark the birth of quantum mechanics. As political tensions grew in Europe, Einstein used his fame to speak out for peace, democracy, and the dignity of all people. When Adolf Hitler came to power, Einstein, who was Jewish, became a target of Nazi hatred. His books were burned in Germany. His name was placed on an enemy list. Einstein chose exile over silence. He moved to the United States, where he joined Princeton University. Even as he aged, he continued to use his voice to fight racism, nationalism, and the misuse of science. He said, "The world is a dangerous place, not because of those who do evil, but because of those who look on and do nothing." Behind the genius was a man with flaws and regrets. Einstein married twice and often struggled to balance family life with his passion for ideas. His first marriage ended in divorce. One of his sons suffered from schizophrenia, a burden Einstein could never fully heal. Yet through every difficulty, he remained dedicated to truth and compassion. He loved music, playing violin whenever his mind needed rest. He believed creativity was as essential as logic. He once said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world." In the final years of his life, Einstein watched the world change rapidly. He saw his theories fuel both the greatest technological advancements and the most terrifying weapons ever made. He deeply regretted writing the letter to President Roosevelt that sparked the Manhattan Project, the creation of the atomic bomb. Though he didn't work on the bomb itself, he felt a moral responsibility. He spent his final years advocating for nuclear disarmament and world peace. Albert Einstein died on April 18, 1955, in Princeton, New Jersey, at the age of 76. His final request was simple: no grave, no monument. He wanted his body to be cremated and his ashes scattered. But even in death, his brain was preserved without his family's permission, in hopes of unlocking the secrets of genius. Today, his face, wild hair and wise eyes, is a symbol of intelligence and curiosity. His name is used in everyday language. He's a real Einstein, a compliment to someone's intelligence. But beyond the science, Einstein's true legacy is his humanity, his belief in freedom, peace, imagination, and truth, even when the world turned dark. Einstein once said, "Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value." He proved that even the most complex equations mean nothing unless they serve humanity. He wasn't just a scientist. He was a thinker, a dreamer, a fighter for justice. In a world torn by conflict and division, Einstein remains a reminder that one voice, one idea, and one act of courage